Hey guys, welcome to my sports world. It is Tuesday, the day after Monday Night Football, and what a football night we had. Um, I told you yesterday in my prediction video, I had a feeling we were going to win because we always have this little hold on the Rams. We've always had this little edge on them, and we saw it again last night. And let me tell you, before I get into facts in here and too much into the game, we dominated them. We dominated that game. There was one team on the field. First half, I mean, I haven't seen the 49ers this good overall, but in the first half so far this season. And Kyle, I have to ask you, what took you so long to put on a game plan and a play calling and clock management game like this? Why did it take you this long? See how easy it is when you do it right? You could have done this in every other game of the season, but you chose not to. Now you did. We saw flashes of 2019. We saw players with a smile on their face. They came out with a mission. It's almost like they looked like they were newly charged. I mean, you could see it on them. You could see it on the body, the posture of the guys. It was different. You could see it from the time they put their feet on the ground and on the field that they wanted something. There was a few key players here and there that really stood out, but as a whole, this was a team win, and we did good on defense, we did good on offense. Yes, we had one or two moments on defense where we're like, guys, come on, put it together. You started so good, like the first touchdown, series of plays that led up to the touchdown for the Rams. That you saw moments of that, kind of like reflecting back on what have happened. And I was like, when Rams scored that touchdown, I was like, no shit, here we go again. But we reeled in, we regained composure, and we just smash mouthed them. We played so physical last night. It was not even funny to be a Ram player, probably. But you know what? It was really funny to be a 49ers fan. This game really showed you what this team can do. It showed you what harbors within each player when they're being told that this is how we're going to do it. And Kyle is saying, trust me to put this into a plan that will work. And he did last night. I mean, I know I've been on Kyle's neck and back. I've been his little monkey on his back, But when he do good, I'll give him the props. Last night, he did clock management, which I have said before that he is poor at. Last night, his clock management was spot on. So you saw that when you manage the clock, you can manage the game to go in your direction. Clock management is extremely important in football. Sometimes it's some of the most important. Managing the game, managing the clock, managing how many minutes your opponent's offense gets on the field. Clock management is alpha and omega. Last night, Kyle did it perfectly. Well, there was a couple of things here and there that could have been done differently, but, in the grand scheme of things, perfect clock management. Play calling, if I grade play calling, I would probably say 8.5 out of 10. So that's almost perfect. There was a few glitches here and there where I was like, yeah, but most of them were on defense. There was a couple of on offense, but it was a few play calls on defense that I was like, oh, don't do that. And that was on the drive that led up to their touchdown. Let me give D'Amico Ryans some props too. I think that last night 98% of the time, he did the right play calls. He had the right things lined up. It looked like he had a right antidote for the Rams. We kind of neutralized their receiving core. You couldn't see OBJ or Cooper Kupp most of the time. And you saw that because Stafford had to kind of look for other options, and very often he has to look for Higbee. And we know that out of the Rams receiving core, Higbee is probably the weakest link there. And you saw it because he had soapy hands. He couldn't freaking catch a ball if his life depended on it. So we did a good thing there. So overall, very, very good game plan. Overall, very, very good execution. I think we showed the world that what the talent lays in this group of players. And we just need to get it out every freaking time. What is so difficult of doing this? Why can't we why can't we do this each week? It's different opponents, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, to a certain degree, but the Rams is so far the best team we have met. If you look at it, Rams and Cardinals. Why couldn't we play like this against the Cardinals? The Cardinals kind of have the same game plan as the Rams. So, and they had McCoy on QB. So why couldn't we do this against the Rams? That's what I'm selling. That's what I'm saying here is that we have flashes of the greatness. We have flashes of 2019. We see moments where we go like, whoa, what is this? And then we, but over the whole course of the year so far, it's been kind of mediocre. But this was like, if the average performance of games this year is down here, yesterday was like way up here. It was like totally different. You couldn't recognize this team yesterday. It was totally different. So I enjoyed last night's game. It was fun watching the game again. Was it me, or was the upper bleachers, the upper stand at the stadium, was that almost empty? Was there a lot of empty spots up there? Not on the bottom or the middle tier, but the top tier. It looked on TV like it was very, very, very few people up there. And if that's it, that showcase what have happened through the year so far. And I hope that inspired the guys to go shit, this is not good. We're losing the fans here. And this was the first win at home in a year. I think they said on TV that was 392 or 394 days since we had won at Santa Clara at the Levi Stadium. It's crazy. A team of this magnitude, a team of this caliber, shouldn't go 390 plus days at home without winning. So yesterday was an extremely important win, not just for the team, not just for the possible of advancement in the playoffs, but for the team and for the club and for the fans, and because other teams was coming to Levi Stadium going how are we going to go to Levi where the 49ers and the home team hasn't won in over a year? That's not good. If you're going to advance in this sport, you got to win your home games. So last night was a staple of a performance. It showcased what kind of possibilities that are within this team. I really enjoyed it, like I said. Now let's look at some key players and maybe some key moments. Key moments for me was when we did a pick six. Jimmy Ward really got lucky, but he was at the right place at the right time. He made the right decision, and he was lucky he wasn't tripped up. But he managed to go in and score a touchdown. Very, very good. I'll give that. The defense was, for the most part of the night, spot on. There was a few things here and there. But, you can't be perfect all the time either. So we'll take what we had last night and say it was a perfect performance. I'll do that. So the defense was, and with Jimmy Ward had a key moment there. You had some pat downs. You had some other that could have been intercepted where Hufanga messed up. I don't know who it was that went up to go to the wall. Was it Kawan Williams or something? But, Hufanga didn't look. He just ran in blindly and knocked the ball out of our own hands. But there was moments you could see the defense was right on. And I have to say that the Rams was kind of off in a way. Like they were the week before when they lost for the Titans. And that's why I, in my video yesterday, the preview video, said that we have a chance here because I saw a weakness to the Rams when they played the Titans. And you saw the same things. This was almost a blueprint of what happened last week. So, is Rams in a funk right now? They are 7-3. We are 4-5. Can we catch them? We play them one more time this year. So if they lose a couple of more games and we lose one, or we win a couple more games, and then we play them at the last game of the season, can we go past them? Remember, this year, head-to-head games will count a lot. There's a tight race, and we are in the race for a wild card spot. But we're fighting against the Bengals. No, not the Bengals. The Vikings and the Seahawks. And there's one more team that we're fighting against in the NFC. And with all these teams losing, like the Cardinals and the Buccaneers and the Saints, I tell you, this year is a rat race. We are still in it. We're still fighting for a playoff. Will we be seeded? I don't know. Are we fighting for a wild card spot here? Most likely. So it means we have to play a couple of more games than the most other playoff teams. But that's okay. Wild card teams have gone to the Super Bowl before, so we can do it. But other key moments yesterday was, of course, the touchdowns, the scorings. Robbie Gould came back. I think it was 50 or 51 yard. I think it was a 50 even. 50-yard field goal without a problem. Key moment, good for him, because, he had been up and down early in the season and then he got injured. But very good field goal, very good execution, almost bang in the middle. That was good. I think that Elijah Mitchell yesterday showed that what lives in him. Give him the ball and protection and route runnings, and he will get you yardage. He will get you yardage. And I think that Jeff Wilson Jr., when he came in yesterday back from injury, I think he had a good game, was positive. He was a positive influence on the players. He showed that we have many good running backs in this team now. And I don't know how Trey Sermon is going to get back, getting anything done in this team with Elijah Mitchell and Jeff Wilson dictating the running game here. Because let's face it, Trey Sermon is not exactly Shanahan's favorite running back right now. That is Elijah Mitchell, and I think that Jeff Wilson is probably a second, and then we are using Deebo Samuel in the back area as a running back as well. So good luck, Trey Sermon. You are a bench warmer right now. So last night was so good. What can we say about players? I mean, there was plenty of key moments, but players that I want to highlight. Elijah Mitchell, very good running back. When I look at Elijah Mitchell, he's not the same type of running back as Mostert. So he's very different from Mostert. But when I see Mitchell, I kind of see Frank Gore. He has kind of like that swagger that Frank Gore has. Tucked in, run down the middle. I don't care if there's 3 or 4 people there. I'm going to try and get my yardage through there. He is a down the middle, among traffic, among brutal players kind of guy. Just like Frank Gore was. You didn't see Frank Gore go on the outside too much and try and get 10, 15, 20, 30 yards. No. You saw Frank Gore run up the middle, and he tucked down and tucked in and lowered his head and used his legs. Same with Elijah Mitchell. We have a new Frank Gore here on our hands, guys. He have to be nurtured very good and very carefully by the team. And God forbid he gets injured. We can't afford an injury to him. He's instrumental to this team. Jeff Wilson, I thought, like I said, he came in after a long time injury. Looked like he had healed up very good. He was a positive influence. He was a positive surprise. So I want to highlight that. Greenlaw played really good again. We see what the team can do on defense with him on the field and in the team. The times he's not, we see a different defense. We really do. Let me get some green tea here. Celebrating with my tea. Bosa. Bosa was on fire yesterday. Yeah, he probably could have had another sack or so, but he had a QB hit where he messed up the passing for Stafford, so the ball kind of went down in the ground. So he got to the QB that way. Most of the time, the referees was long gone yesterday. Bosa was chokehold 4 or 5 times, and on that play that I just mentioned, where he got to the hand of Stafford, he was being chokehold by the defense, no, by the offensive line. I'm sorry, and that happened multiple times. And where was the referees? I can't imagine that chokeholding as a tackle is legal. That is almost in the same category as a horse collar or face mask, if you ask me. It was a brutal, it was chokeholds. It wasn't just a loose little thing like this. It was like you could see his body being dragged down to the ground by his neck. How that is legal, I don't know. So if that had been shut down by the refs, you probably would have seen Bosa with a couple of more sacks. So Bosa was on fire yesterday on defense. Now, I think Mosley had a good game. I think Johnson did fairly well, though he got burned a couple of times, especially on the drive where Rams got the TD. But overall, our cornerbacks did okay yesterday. They did good. I think our safeties did good. I think the whole defense did good in the 98% of the time. The only 2% can be linked to when they scored a field goal and when they scored a touchdown. Those 2 drives, the defense was kind of a little bit mushy. Other players that I want to highlight, I think Kittle did a good job on both, protecting the QB, blocking, receiving what he did receive. He scored a touchdown too, so Kittle did good. Garoppolo, I want to say, was better than what he normally is. Garoppolo was really good last night. He did great. Was it the perfect performance? No. He had a one pass that could have been when we needed, was it 14 or 19 yards, something like that, when we had a player wide open on the right-hand side and he went down. He was trying to go down in the middle but got sacked or something like that. So there was moments here and there where his decision-making was kind of off. But for the most part, very good by Jimmy Garoppolo. I think our O-line did rather good last night. There wasn't I think Garoppolo got sacked once, I think. However, Garoppolo didn't throw any interceptions last night, so that was a good one. But, we lost, had some turnover on downs, but, that happens in every game. So, we did good. We did really good, and most of the players yesterday would get a grade of, B and up. So B and B plus and A minus and A plus. That's where all the players roam from the last night's game. Not even one player flunked or failed yesterday. The coaching staff, I want to give both Kyle and DeMeco Ryans an A, not just because we won, but the way we won. We imposed our will. We imposed smash mouth football on the Rams. We took it to the Rams, and we gave them a run for their, pride and ability. When you win a game with 21 points, you're kind of dominating the game. You're kind of dominating. And holding the Rams to 10 points is rather damn good. And then scoring over 30 points, it's scoring 31 points is a very good performance overall, both on defense and offense. So this was a flashback to the 2019, and I saw potential here, and I knew there was in there, but I've been so frustrated with players being, I said they lack the attitude. I have said before, they lack inspiration. It almost looks like they've been defeated before they started the game. Yesterday, they came on the field and they looked like they had won the game before they started. They had the attitude. They had the inspiration. You could see it in their eyes. They were glowing. They were pumped up. This is how we have to play in the going forward. This is the team we know from 2019. I mean, am I going to say that this is the one game that now, we're back and we're going to go forward and we're going to be like dominating every team that we're playing? No. This is a one-time thing, and we have to do it one by one game at a time, each week. There's no stopping. There's no relaxing. We have to replicate this performance going forward each week. We can't rest on anything. If we do, it's going to be a losing streak again. And is this a good enough thing for me to flip on my opinion about Kyle being sacked or replaced? No. The only thing that he can change my mind right now is if he takes us to the playoffs and then takes us to the Super Bowl and he wins the Super Bowl. Then I'm going to change my mind and say, okay, let's try him for a couple of more years. Unless he do that, I don't think he's the right guy for the job. But yesterday he did good. What he did yesterday, he has to sit down and go like, what we did tonight is what I'm going to do the rest of the season in each and every game. We're going to have the same intensity, same attitude, same focus, and same execution. If we can do that, this team can go far. We had to win because Minnesota Vikings won. Our win last night was good in two ways. We keep our steady track with the Vikings, which we are fighting, is one of the teams we're fighting against when it comes to a playoff team, and that's a wild card. But we also distance ourselves from the Seahawks. And that is mighty well good. Because Seahawks are still in the realm of talks when it comes to wild card game. So it's going to be tough. And we're playing the Seahawks and the Rams one more time this year. If we beat both of them, the other team that we're facing that are in the playoffs teams for a wild card right now due to their, where they are, is the Falcons. That was the other team that I was going to mention. So we have to beat the Vikings and the Falcons, Rams and Seahawks. And the other teams are more or less like very, very well over. We can win those games. I mean, like the Texans and the Jaguars. Come on, and the Bengals. If we win those three games, and then the way I see it now, let me put it like this: if we play in the upcoming weeks and the upcoming games, if we play like we did last night, I only see one loss the rest of the season, and that is against the Titans. So we're looking at then is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games left, 1 loss, and 7 win out of those 8 upcoming games. Can we do that? If we do that, we are going to the playoffs. I can guarantee you, if we win 7 games now, and we only lose 1 more game this season, that will take us to 11-6, and I think that will be good enough for a playoff team, for a playoff place or spot. Not as a seeded team, but as a wild card team. Come on, 49ers, let's do it. Yesterday was freaking perfect.